Welcome back. Now, it seems the FCT minister, Anyanwu's stronghold on the People's Democratic Party keeps getting stronger as his ally, Samuel Anyanwu, has now been affirmed as the National Secretary of the party. On Tuesday, the Federal High Court Abuja declared Anyanwu as the valid National Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. In the judgment, Justice Anyanwu made an order restraining the national leadership of the party from appointing any person as acting national secretary while Anyanwu's four-year tenure is still running and subsisting until December 9, 2025, in line with the party's constitution. Justice Ekwo also declared that any meeting held or resolution reached by the party to prematurely oust or prevent Anyanwu from exercising the powers of his office would be contravening Article 47(1) of the PDP Constitution as amended in 2017, hence null and void and of no effect. Now, the judge also barred the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, from recognizing any purported appointment of any person as National Secretary of the party, whether in acting capacity or otherwise, other than Anyanwu, the elected National Secretary of the party. Let's discuss this further. I'm now being joined on the program by a chieftain of the PDP, Diron Odemi. Mr. Odemi, thank you very much for joining us on the program. What exactly does this ruling mean for your party? Is this not going to create more division within the party?
Thank you very much for having me. And I want to say that it is just an interim injunction granted Anyanwu. It is not, we are still going into the substantive matter. And you know, in Nigeria, it's very easy for anybody to get an injunction. Just, like a threat, to hold on to. By the time they get to the nitty-gritty of the matter, I want to believe that the whole thing is going to change. But having said that, I think it is pure impunity and defy logic to say that Anyanwu should remain the secretary of the party. There are many ways of looking at it. Look at it this way. Anyanwu is the secretary of the party, as at the time he wanted to contest for the governorship of Imo State. To such an extent that as the secretary, it appears that there was no level playing ground for the aspirant when the Hediora, aspired to contest against him. And when the Hediora realized that the secretary are part of the people that are going to choose people that will come and conduct the primary election, even at the screening, it was Anyanwu that even signed the screening certificate for him. How do you now trust a system whereby your opponent sign your screening certificate and is the one that is going to nominate people that will come and conduct the primary election? So that was the reason why he thought perhaps it wasn't working. He pulled out. And we all saw the result. We lost the election in Imo. And during this time, we wonder why Anyanwu will still remain as the secretary of the party, serving as the party's candidate and at the same time the secretary of the party. Where is the system that says, yes, in the absence of the secretary, the deputy, the assistant secretary or the deputy secretary can take over? Nothing of such happened. This is the impunity that is happening in PDP. And I think by the time the court looks into the whole thing, I'm not sure if the Anyanwu will be allowed to be the secretary of the party.
Well, but I know that the information we have is that is the ruling of the court. Of course, that case was filed last year, and now what the court gave was a judgment, not an interim injunction.
What I read was an interim injunction, but if it is the court judgment, I want to say no. I don't normally want to blame the court for whatever they decide, but there's always room for appeal. I'm sure the party will appeal against that ruling because it defies logic. How can somebody, the secretary of the party, go and contest an election and still remain as the secretary of the party? It doesn't add up.
But does the constitution of your party actually allow that?
No, not at all. Not at all. I don't know the constitution they are quoting. I don't know. And even, let's look at it the other way. Which constitution will allow somebody to go and contest an election and say at the same time he remains in that same position? This is a constitution that says if you are contesting for a position, you have to resign the one you are occupying. So I don't know where this constitution issue is coming from. I don't understand it. And I don't know the reason why such judgment should come from the court. But just like I say, there's always that opportunity to appeal any judgment. And I'm sure PDP will appeal the judgment. But by and large, it is a sign, it is a signal that there is disunity, a huge one within PDP. And when the solution will come, is still what we still don't know. We remain confused as a political party. That's the truth.
Now, let me ask you
can't
this.
just hide.
Let me ask you this, sorry. Why didn't the party at the time, why didn't the party insist at the time Senator Anyanwu was going to contest for the governorship of Imo State? Why didn't the party insist that he resigned his appointment? Because obviously he did not resign. There's no record at all or evidence that he resigned. So he left, somebody was appointed in an acting capacity, and now he's come back. And he was elected, according to him, on the basis of his argument now, he was elected for a tenure of 4 years, and he did not resign when he left. So it could be assumed that he was still the party secretary even at the time he was running for the position of governor of Imo State. So why didn't the party insist he tendered a resignation letter by the time he left to contest for the governorship of Imo State?
This is a very great indictment on the entire National Working Committee we have in place right now. In fact, we have this impression that they are too weak to take a decision that will be of benefit to the entire party. And people are even praying, for the time to come for them to leave, because we are not achieving anything, we are not moving forward. They cannot take any decision that will be of benefit to the party. If not, how can you allow somebody who has become a candidate to continue as the secretary of the party? In what capacity is that? Which constitution allow that? So it's an indictment on the NWC, and it's a sign that we have a weak, very weak NWC. No other thing to say than to say that they are very weak.
And I'm just wondering, we know that Senator Anyanwu belongs to the camp of the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike. And we know that the FCT minister is not does not see eye to eye now with the current leadership of the party. I'm talking about the National Working Committee and even the acting national chairman you have. I'm just wondering how that politics will play out in your party now that the court has said Senator Anyanwu remains the secretary of the party, which is a very important and powerful position, I must say.
From these judgments, what is clear is that Wike is still holding on to the jugular of the party. And if the party is not ready to take any definite action against him or against whoever are his supporters, it means we have a weak NWC. That's what it means, and that's what I keep saying. If you have a leadership that is not willing to take a decisive action over something that is going wrong or is not in the overall interest of the party, it shows the kind of leader that we have. And that is why I'm repeating what I just said, that by the special grace of God, we cannot wait for this NWC to go away so that we can have new executive of the party that will streamline things and make sure that we have a viable political party as opposition.
Well, the truth is that the NWC cannot go away. They are going to be there until probably 2025. And let me ask you this. Why do you think, from what you see, why do you think the party has found it very difficult to discipline members like Wike and some others who continue to defy the party's, well, should I say what the party stands for now? I mean, just the other day, we saw the former governor of Benue State at that dinner organized by Wike in Port Harcourt, openly declaring support for for President Bola
second
Tinubu, that
term
they're
of
going to support him in
yes.
2027, and that the G5 still stands?
You see, I think a member of the LWC or the leadership of the party should be in the position to tell we members the reason why they are not taking action. It doesn't appear as if PDP is even existing again. And that is the reason why you had the Labour saying, when we are talking of opposition, they remain the only opposition party now, not even PDP, because PDP has been in disarray.
So do you think all of these problems can be blamed on the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar when he chose to run for the presidency at a time when everyone had expected that the ticket of your party should have been zoned to the south of the country, but he chose to run?
That is the genesis of the whole crisis. And that is why some of us even find it difficult to whip the whole blame on Wike. Because as at the time, Atiku, Saraki, and all of them went to join APC to assist Buhari to win election against PDP, Wike was the last man standing. He stood by the party with everything he had. By the time they all came back, they adjusted the party from him, and that was the genesis of the crisis that we are in today. He thought, if I've been with the party, if I've nurtured the party to an enviable position, whereby Nigerians are now looking forward to a presidential candidate from the South, in the person of myself, that is Wike, and some people just came, worked together among themselves, and, put him away from that race, then he has every right to say, yes, I will have a way of taking my own part of pressure from them. Not only that, he was promised the position of vice presidency. They took that away from him. He requested for the chairman of the party to resign, simply because you cannot have a presidential candidate from the north, have the chairman of the party from the north. What remains for the south? That was the argument. And where I'm blaming Atiku now is that he couldn't put his foot down on all this matter to say, yes, this should be their meeting, or this is what I want. After having a meeting with Wike and agree with them that, yes, their demands were, normal and very good. Okay. It will come back to Ayu's side and it becomes a different thing entirely. He is a leader that just couldn't make up his mind. And that is why up till now, we are still in this crisis. The solution would have been for Atiku, for Wike, for all of them to come back to a roundtable conference and, iron out all these things and let's move on as a party.
But do you
That's
think
why I'm not exonerating anybody.
Do you think that coming together can actually happen, especially when it's becoming glaring by the day that Atiku still has the ambition to run in 2027?
That is the problem we have right now. And that is why PDP cannot stand as a political party. Because if it's nothing an ambition and is still having a hold on the party, and if Wike is insisting that, I've been cheated in this arrangement and I'm not going to support whoever has cheated me, then where is the solution? And that's why I repeat, nobody could be exonerated on this issue. I expected all the governors under PDP platform, both former and present, the BOT, to rescue this party from all these situations. Come down together, come around together and discuss the solution and the way forward. But everybody is observing the situation from the rings. And we don't know where we are as a political party.
Mr. Dinrodemi, thank you very much for your time and thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thanks a lot. Well, that's how much we can take on the program. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.